Alright, yeah. Anyhow, so I'm having some difficulties because I have this new phone. And it's like, I'm having all kinds of problems. So my last, where's the camera? Is it, yeah, it's over here. This is so dumb, dude. So my last video, it only picked up about a minute of the video, and then the rest of it's just audio. Yeah, this new phone, I'm gonna have to kind of figure out what the fuck is going on. Anyhow, yeah, so I talked about Hurricane Helene. So I'm just gonna, this is just gonna be like blah. Like, there is no point in having a point to my video because, you know, what's the point? So yeah, let's talk about, remember Hurricane, let's go back into Hurricane Helene. I mean, it's all pointless anyways. Just like when they did the coverage of Hurricane Helene, that was all pointless. What was the point of everybody covering Hurricane Helene? What was the point of it? Clicks, likes, views, subs. That's the only reason any and everybody jumped on the fucking the Hurricane Helene story, for clicks, likes, views, subs. And these are like pointless reasons. Like, you may as well just not even have any reason at all. Like, your only reason for covering the Hurricane Helene story is so that you can get more views, more clicks. And then it's like, well, why do you want more views, more likes, more clicks? Oh, because everybody needs to know about Hurricane Helene. Yeah, but the only reason you did the Hurricane Helene story was so that you could get clicks, likes, views, and subs. So you don't even, all these people, they don't even care about Hurricane Helene. They're only covering the story because they can get clicks, likes, views, and subs. And so then I ask, well then, if the only reason you care about covering a story is to get clicks, likes, views, and subs, well then, what's the point in even doing it? And it's like, well, the point is to cover the story of Helene. You see how it's this like, I mean, it's this low IQ loop where, and you see, it doesn't make sense. And if something doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. So think of it this way. If the only reason a person is covering the story of Hurricane Helene is for clicks, likes, views, and subs, well then, it doesn't even make sense to cover the story. Because, you know, and if something doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. So that means if somebody's only covering stories for clicks, likes, views, and subs, well, that doesn't make sense. Therefore, the story they're covering isn't true. That means they're just a bunch of liars, just like MSM. They're all just liars. They're all of them. They're all just liars. And so here's the point too. You know, like why, what, okay, so what's the big deal about Hurricane Helene? Why do you care? It just drove like thousands of Appalachian whites into homelessness. Why would you care about that? You don't care about the homeless. You don't. And neither does your society. Oh, well, I care. How dare you say that I don't care about... Like, you guys just lie to yourselves. You're just lying to yourselves. You're lying to everyone else. Dude, how can you even really look yourself in the mirror with a straight face and say, and tell yourself, yes, with a straight face that you really care about all these people in Appalachia that became homeless because of Hurricane Helene. And you care so much about this. You care. You care. So how long ago was Hurricane Helene? See, this one, it just becomes so fucking disgusting to witness. Like, it's like, dude. And it's everywhere. It's all over BitChute, all over YouTube, all over Rumble, all over Odyssey, all over, and to the point where no matter what you claim you care about, it's obvious you don't, because all you care about are clicks, likes, views, subs, dopamine hits. You don't care. You could give a fuck about anything but dopamine hits from these platforms. That's all you care about. Like, oh, Hurricane Helene. Yeah, it was, don't you remember when Hurricane Helene was just, for almost a week, it was exploding all over on this. Well, what happened to that story? What happened? Any follow-up? Didn't it leave thousands of people homeless? Any follow-up as to, did all you people that care so much about Hurricane, did you ever follow up and find out what happened to all those people that became homeless from the hurricane? No. Not one of you did. None of you. But I thought it was really important. Or was it just important to get dopamine hits from clicks, likes, views? Like, what's important here? See, and it's obvious. Nothing is important. So it doesn't matter what the story. Like, you could be talking about the Jews, and I already know all you care about is clicks, likes, views, and subs. And you're pretending you care about Hurricane Helene victims, and you pretend you care about Jewish space lasers, and you pretend you care about global genocides, and you pretend, but all you care about are clicks, likes, views, subs, dopamine hits. That's all. It's all this is about. And so, and see, everybody knows this on some level, that all that anybody cares about is dopamine hits on their favorite platforms on the internet. That's all any and all of you care about, dude. And that's why you're talking about the Jews. It's for dopamine hits, clicks, likes, views. That's why you're talking about global genocides, for dopamine hits, clicks, likes, views, subs. And you claim, oh, no. Really what it is it's because it's a really important subject that we need to, it's an awareness campaign. We need to get people aware of this global genocide. No, it's not. No, it's not. Awareness campaigns. Dude, I've worked in these big fields where everything is about an awareness campaign of something important. Open your hearts, open your wallets, the children, do it for the children. Open your hearts and open your wallets. If you can even send just $1, and because it's an awareness campaign, we need to spread awareness. Like, these are the oldest tricks in the book. And the reason people give to these things is the same thing. Clicks, likes, views, subs, dopamine hits, virtue signaling, pat oneself on the back. Look at what I'm doing to help the children. Oh, I did all this stuff to help the children today, because I care about the children. Just a bunch of liars, thieves, vultures, liars, thieves, and all they do is grandstand of how they care about Jewish space lasers, and they care about babies' body parts flying all over the place, and they care about the Hurricane Helene victims, and they just care so much. Faith No More did a song mocking all this called We Care a Lot. And it's in jest. They're being facetious. We care a lot. We care a lot, yeah. Oh, we care so much. We just care about all this stuff going on, about the forests and the trees, about the about the NASA center falling in the seas, about starvation and the food that Live Aid bought. Oh, we care a lot. We care a lot. We care a lot. We care a lot about the starving children in Africa. We care a lot. We care a lot. Oh, we just care so much about the global genocide because it's hurting innocent victims nationwide. We care so much about the Jews and what they've got because they stole it from us. We're the ones that are not. Or it's always the same. Dude, you guys are just, it's so fucking gay, dude. You don't care. Everybody knows that nobody gives a fuck about anyone or anything but them own self. That's all anyone cares about. But we care a lot. We care so much about the trafficked children in the, we care so much about the genocide of the people, the baby's body parts. We care so much that they are flying all around. We care so much because we're the victims. It's like it's so like, dude. So anyways, so if you care so much, if everybody cared so much about the Hurricane Helene victims, well, can anybody leave a comment in the comment section about a follow-up? Like, what, did you follow up on that story? All those fucking Appalachian whites that were displaced into homelessness from the hurricane, where'd they all go? Oh, we don't have time to talk about that, Angry Hobo, because babies' body parts are flying all over the place in Palestine. We care so much we have to oppose the Israel because babies' body parts flying everywhere. Don't you know? It's a global genocide. We care a lot. We care so much because it's just the way we are. We just care so much. What do you care about? The Jews. It's the Jews. It's the Jews. Like, anyways. Yeah, no, what happened to all those Hurricane Helene victims, dude? Because now Mark Dice is telling everybody that they're just mentally ill drug addicts. That's what Mark Dice is saying. That all those Hurricane Helene victims, the Appalachian whites that were displaced into homelessness because of Hurricane Helene, oh, they're all just mentally ill drug addicts. That's why. Just forget about him, man. We got Jewish space lasers going on. We don't have time for those mentally ill drug addicts. And that's just the Hurricane Helene. What other hurricanes and stuff and natural disasters have displaced thousands of Americans besides Hurricane Helene in the last 5 years? Oh, don't worry. All those victims of those natural disasters, they're all just mentally ill drug addicts anyways. Why don't you just send that money to Mark Dice? Because Mark Dice really needs your help. Because you can't rely on mainstream media. So Mark Dice is there to help you. He's spreading awareness. Mark Dice is spreading awareness about what's really going on. Yeah, I bet you I could type in the search engine and I could find Mark Dice videos where Mark Dice was talking about Hurricane Helene and how the evil liberals were not helping the Appalachian whites while they were being displaced by the hurricane. But now, that ship is sailed. Now Mark Dice is saying, all those people displaced by the hurricane, they're all just mentally ill drug addicts. Like now, well, that's what happens when you get displaced by a hurricane. You're instantly a mentally ill drug addict. That's what you just become, instantly mentally ill and drug addicted, like boom, overnight. That's it. And just another wasteoid. Just it's only teenage wasteland, man. Just who cares? It's only teenage wasteland. They're all wasted, dude. They're all drug addicts, bro. That's Mark Dice. And they're all the same. Mark Dice is just is not an isolated incident. Mark Dice, Don Lemon, they're all the same. They all say the same thing. All those homeless people, drug addicts and mentally ill people. But yeah, so what happened to the Hurricane Helene victims? They're not homeless. They all got their homes, and they all, well, yeah, and this how, like, what happened? And nobody knows, but nobody cares because, well, why wouldn't they? We're in the middle of a global genocide that's brought upon by Jewish space lasers, and interdimensional beings. So why would anybody care, right? Duh. Anyways, whatever, dude.